Well, this year we wanted to really improve our fronts, our defensive, offensive line. So that was a big need going into the recruiting season, and we think we did a really good job of bringing in guys that are bigger, more physical guys than we have on the roster now. So it's going to give us a different addition to the depth of our team and kind of bring a new phase of our fronts offensively and defensively. And I think we did a good job there, and we also were able to pick up a few key skill guys that we needed to, again, add more depth to the talent that we already have here. So I think we did a pretty good job, and we've worked hard. I know the staff's been out, since the beginning of December, really going at it, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the way that we've been able to beat some bushes and get some areas that we weren't able to the last couple of years, and it's looking up. We knew there was a lot of talent in the state of Virginia, and we had been, we hadn't probably gotten as much talent out of there as we'd like to the last couple of years, so that was a big emphasis, and we hit it hard this year. And again, the guys were on the road a lot, and they did a really good job of finding players there. Maryland is always been, for me in particular, has been a good place because there's so much talent there that gets overlooked, from the Division I school. So those two areas we know are rich in talent, and we're always gonna go there. We did a much better job this year in Virginia than we had in the past, which you can tell by the guys we've signed. And always in state. Anytime you find a good player in state, you want to get them while you can. And we went after a couple, and we're able to land a big one for Martinsburg, and we're happy about that as well. Well, he's a big physical back. You don't really, when you watch him on film and you see him in person, you don't realize he weighs 195 pounds, and he's just a different dynamic than what we have back there right now. He's dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and gives us a little bit more depth there because, again, that's a position that gets banged up over the course of a season. But somebody we also think can come in and play right away because he's so talented. So we're excited to get him here and to keep the Martinsburg connection that we have because, again, it's talented, a talented program that's ran well by Coach Walker. Yeah, I think offensively, anytime you can run the ball, it takes a lot of pressure off of a lot of people, not having to put it in the air over and over and over. And, again, last year, as the season before last year, injuries played a part in that. Our depth chart got devastated over time with injuries at that position. So it's always going to be a challenge when you give a guy the ball 20, 30 times and he's getting knocked around over the course of a season. He's going to get injured and banged up. So to have good guys there, 4 or 5 of them, is key, and we think we're doing a good job of that. Well, anytime you lose 3 starters and 5 seniors overall from the offensive line, it's a big, that's a big hit, and you got to do what you can early and try to get guys in here that you feel like can play right away. And we think we've done that. We like I said earlier, that was a point of emphasis, and we really went hard at those guys, and we found, all of them that we signed, we think have the ability to step right in and play right away. And it's going to be important for us because we're going to have to play somebody young next year, whether it's a guy who's already here redshirting or it's one of these guys who just signed today. There's going to be young guys playing up front, so we have to be ready for that. Yeah, well, we struggled on defense at times last year stopping a run, and in my opinion, the defensive line is a big part of that. You have to be able to have guys who can hold space and make the linebackers' jobs a lot easier. And I think every team in the country, Division I all the way down to Division III, are looking for good defensive and offensive linemen. It's just hard to find them, and we did a good job of finding the 2 we have now. And we're going to keep looking. We have some other guys that we're trying to push for, and we're not done yet. That's a position we're always going to recruit hard. Secondary-wise, we knew there was a need at safety. We just don't have the depth there right now, and we feel good about the players that we have on our roster at corner and safety. It's just you got to find more of them. So we did that, and we were able to be a little bit more selective than we have been in the last couple of years because we have guys there already that we feel like can play. Now we just have to kind of add to them. So we took our time at those positions. We're able to pick up a couple really good corners that we think can play multiple positions but are athletic. Safety-wise, we picked up one that we think can step in right now and play. Linebacker, we're fairly young there. We have 1 senior on the roster next year at all 3 linebacker spots. So it was important to get a couple guys that can play multiple positions, and when you get them here, we can figure out what exactly they're going to do. But they're athletic and they're physical, and those are the keys to playing linebacker. I think like a lot of things, the longer you're here and you're in place and the more you get to do things over and over, it becomes an easier process because people don't realize it's different for every place you're at. Fairmont's different than anywhere else, and it just takes a little bit of time and figuring out exactly how you want to go about it. But a lot of that has to do with the guys that you send out on the road, and our assistants have done a great job of going out, seeing the kids in person, talking to people about them, and then being able to evaluate them. I think we did a pretty good job the last couple of years of evaluating talent, and once we get them here, we know pretty much what we're going to get. We just hope it's the same. We're in a situation we don't have a ton of scholarship dollars, so you have to be pretty good and precise at what you're taking, and we've done just about all we can do. We feel very confident in the guys we took today. Well, we're just going to keep getting better. I think that that's the key no matter what you're doing, as long as we can keep striving to get better every day. But you hope that some of the young kids we played with last year kind of grow up a little bit. Now they got a taste of college football, and we keep building on that foundation that we really set actually last year. We're just going to keep getting better and try to score more points than the other team and play down by down. That's anything we can really, that's our goal since we've gotten here, and that's never going to change. But I think that they're going to be excited with the young talent that we have in here. You take last year's signing class and this year's signing class, both of those together, there's a lot of good young talent here. So we're excited about the future. We know there's something good to build on, and now it just takes a little bit of time. You got to do your work.